My name is Robtel Neajai Pailey. I'm a Liberian academic, activist, and author of the children's book, Gbagba. Gbagba is an anti-corruption children's book that I wrote in 2012. It was later published by One More Book as part of its Liberia Signature series in 2013. And the book is really an attempt by me to have a national conversation with Liberian children, as well as children outside of Liberia, about what it means to be accountable to oneself, one's community, and one's nation.
From that, the principal
That's corruption. It's an anti-corruption children's book. In fact, sometimes people ask me, is it a how-to manual about how to be corrupt? And my response is always that it's not a how-to manual, it's a how not to be corrupt manual. The book really follows a few days in the lives of twins from Gbagba County, which is one of the sub-political divisions of Liberia. And they leave the capital of Gbagba County to visit their aunt and uncle in Monrovia, which is the capital of Liberia.
I know, my dear, and I can boast that if my children are among the best children in the Buchanan time. But I'm just making sure I really like that. Let me get some food for you to carry, okay?
And these twins, Sandema and Sandega, have a series of experiences that introduce them or remind them of this Bassa word, Gbagba, which loosely translated means trickery or corruption in the Bassa language, one of the 16 languages of Liberia.
You see Gbagba, you see corruption. You know, unlike it. It's very bad. Unlike it at all.
I wrote the book 2012, and it's been 5 years, and we've been able to do so much with the book. It was published again by One More Book. It was also illustrated by Trace Walker, who is a Liberian visual artist who's self-taught, incredibly talented. And we have piloted the book through a generous grant that I was able to secure from the Open Society Initiative for West Africa, otherwise known as OSIWA.
So we at the Open Society Initiative for West Africa, commonly called OSIWA, have been working along with Robtel on trying to get the message across. And this is a message about corruption. Why we need to be concerned about corruption, and why we need to make sure we are able to bring corruption down until we can get it to a point where we don't see it that much or we don't hear about it.
In the first phase of the grant I was able to secure in 2014, we piloted the book in Monrovia County, where the capital of Liberia is, Monrovia. And we were able to work with 10 schools to roll out the book. We have a teacher's guide that we've developed with the Ministry of Education to incorporate the book in the curriculum of these 10 schools. The Ministry of Education was so excited about the book that they've actually placed it on the supplemental reader list for 3rd to 5th graders in Liberia. In addition to that, we've also been able to adapt the book into a song as well as a video, which was written and produced by Takunje, who is one of Liberia's foremost hip-hop artists.
Say no to corruption, you'll be alright. Corruption, 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 Baba is getting too much.
In the second phase of the grant that I was able to receive and secure from OSIWA, we've adapted the book into a play. And the title of the play is Gbagba, the play. And we've worked with Flomo Theater, which is a premier theater company in Liberia, to train a number of children. It's an all-child cast over about 4 months from April 2017 until August 2017. And the play was debuted at Monrovia City Hall on September 28th, 2017. The children were incredibly phenomenal. There are a series of scenes that I think are incredibly important to highlight. So we have a scene where there's an exchange between a driver and a police officer, and some people would argue that that's a scene about bribery. You can tell yourself by watching it. have a scene in a supermarket in which the person who is in charge of the supermarket is accused or suspected of selling expired goods.
But Miss A spoiled. It spoiled. Bow it. See, and looking, it doesn't have chocolate like we began to say. Madam! Oh, madam, what's the problem, madam? Why you have to say, I didn't chocolate to my children? Madam, sorry. Your cookie is still on small. Someone there don't feel it, madam. I'm sorry. I'm not doing it. What? Madam, I'm sorry. You supposed to say, expire cookie in the store? Oh, madam, I'm sorry. I'm not doing it, madam. You know, my old friend. Yes, madam. Next time, not do it again. Yes, madam. Okay. Madam, what mean? And I just want to smoke you by something. I'm sorry, madam. Don't do it again, yes, madam.
The children are incredibly astute, and it amazed me that they had no formal theater training. And in just a matter of 5 months, they've become professionals in their own right.
Well, having left Buchanan and entered Monrovia, the twin Sunday man and Sunday guy, as you would expect, come across a baby city. Streets filled with cars, men pushing wheelbarrows with jugs of water inside, table with many colorful palm nuts, women who hold their clothes on their head, and so much more. But not to waste your time, let's follow the drama. Thank you.
And I think they wowed the audience when we debuted this at Monrovia City Hall on the 28th of September. I think a few of the characters really stand out for me. The young girl who plays the narrator, very articulate, incredibly sharp. And then the main characters, Sandema and Sandega. Uncle Momo is another highlight of the play, the uncle of the twins, the twin characters. The mother, the aunt, the police officer who allegedly takes the bribe. You'll be able to decide for yourself whether or not it's a scene of bribery. So these are just some of the highlights. But beyond the main characters, there's an ensemble cast, right? So 25 kids, each of them at the very end talk about how corruption manifests itself in Liberia, and they give some very specific examples, which I thought were incredibly important, that children, again, this sort of vision that I had in the very beginning in 2012 when I was crafting this narrative, children actually having a national conversation about what corruption means to them, how it affects them, and how it really reverses our development gains in Liberia.
Graceful teacher is Gbagba or corruption.
Speaking all your friends who are not giving corrections when your mother or father saying is Gbagba or corruption.
That corruption affects my future. It also makes Liberia a bad place.
I want to ask this question to the police officer. What can the government do for you to stop accepting private money from the drivers?
Let it increase my salary.
Yes.
My question goes to the minister.
The minister? Okay.
Minister, why when the marketer gave you the money, you have to take it? Because he is my friend, and in Liberia, we don't care about corruption.
Eh? Wow!
Is that true?
I learned that corruption is not good. We must fight to stop corruption.
For me, I think children are really the moral compass of Liberia. Children are the moral compass of the world. And so when they start having a conversation about dishonesty and how the lack of integrity and the lack of accountability affects them, my hope is that the adults in their lives will do things slightly differently. My other hope is that we really start a new generation of adults in the future who will value honesty, who will value integrity, who will value accountability, and who will be the leaders in their own right. So whether they're lawyers or doctors, politicians, civil servants, private sector actors, that they learn from this narrative and they understand that the only way the world can be a better place is if they are accountable, is if they're honest, is if they sort of resist corruption.
For Liberia to be developed faster, we must start it now!
Let's identify all the instances of Gbagba in the story, from the road in the market, to the policeman in the traffic, to the owner of the supermarket, to the teachers in the school, to the pastor in the church. These things show us that Gbagba is everywhere, and we must fight it, young and old and young. Children like Sonema and Sonega can expose corruption by talking about how it negatively affects society. In Gbagba and in corruption, there are never real winners, uno loser. Ladies and gentlemen,